对对。
宋嘉欣，
怎的了？嘛呢？
我俩都没有了，是不是上厕所了？钓了几条鱼呀？
来人了。
小孩都是。咋没影了？是不是上厕所了？今天不厕所了呢？
没有在厕所里待着。
宋嘉欣，快下来呀！这有好看的。
这要是你要想这么哪都溜得到，那可费时间。对，你可别往下走了啊！真的，你再往下走，那都是野道了，你没看着？
那哪现在种菜了？你现在来那嘎种菜挺好，我不让种。那嘎那可不。国家公园。那种点芸豆、茄子、辣椒、黄瓜、土豆。刚才那块有那花。
雏菊吧，是不是雏菊？
不知道，你看那个湖里头那俩白的是什么东西？
白的。哦。不知道，你没带望远镜。是海鸥吗？还是浮漂？
我以为它是。
它还越来越远了，它俩哎，是动物好像。
是动物，只能是动物。
那还有俩黑的呢？
对，还有俩黑的。我这还没找着他俩。
拉近。
我已经拉得很近了，现在。
回家咱就说来长白山的天池照，他知道是哪儿。来车了，来车了。
Cover. We have stairs at the front that will take you down to the main cabin, and you will also find stairs at the back between the two decks. Stairs at the front and back. As you come aboard, please find a seat, make yourself comfortable. Once we have left the dock, our gate is closed up front and that's clear. You are welcome to walk around the ship. You do not have to sit at the same seat.
这还有美国规矩，
都是两国的。
咱俩合办的。
对。
到那个吗？边境。
But in the docking areas, especially as we come into the south end, we'll have that gate open again as we hit our lines with the docks. Those are the situations we like everybody to be seated in when we're in the docking areas. In between time, feel free to. Beautiful afternoon. I'll make it over. I can give you a 5-minute forecast.
Maybe I'll sit here now.
Weather things change. Anyway, we'll collect your tickets down here, and if you have questions as you do come aboard, we'll be here.
这两层呗。
起来吧，起来吧，可以走了，起来。哦，哎呀，搁底下就搁底下吧，我估计这天谁都愿意上上面，咱排在后面呢。
Jump in if you let swim, maybe. Yeah.
Actually get that on the boat.
So we need to keep these to return. Careful, you're dragging the carrier.
旅馆。
那有些晒太阳的小姑娘，
找完了。
知道吧？
Afternoon. Is this thing working? We've got a handful of responses up front here. How's everyone doing it today? Doing well? Hopefully you're all set for your boat ride today, because if not, it might be a little too late now. I left the dock unless you want to jump overboard, swim to shore, and I figure you are stuck with us for the next 2.25 hours. So hopefully you're all set. Does everyone know where we're headed today? Tennessee. See a lot of blank faces, a lot of people shaking their heads. No idea at all. But you just purchase some tickets, see where you end up. I do admire that sense of adventure. Just thought you'd hop on a boat, see where it takes you. So as we round this second yellow buoy here, this signifies the sandbar here in the marina that we have to go around each and every cruise. We're going to flip around 100. As length goes, it's upper water lake here, roughly 7 miles or 11 kilometers in length, all the way down to the Gohan Ranger Station. If you were also to drain this lake, it would almost look like your bathtub back at home. So the edge is slanting down vertically to all the points around the lake. So from the beach, all it really takes is a hop, a skip, and a jump, and you're well over your head in water. The reason for that, of course, due to the glaciers long ago, as they came through this valley, carving it in a very distinctive U shape. So since it drops off so dramatically, it allows your Captain Phil to get us in fairly close to the shoreline. And that means you folks have about one job today, and that is to scan the shoreline looking for some wildlife. So we'll spot something here on this afternoon's cruise. Over the past few days now, I spotted a number of black bear from the vessel. Just a few days ago when I was working, saw a little black bear about 30 feet up one of the cottonwood. Opportunity in the foreground, you'll have Boundary Creek flowing into the lake, and in the background, one of the more scenic mountains, we have the Citadel Peaks of Porcupine Ridge, the mountain there with those jagged-looking pinnacles or spires. Now the old-timers in the area, they call that mountain Old Sawtooth. Well, the original native name known as Tunoxis. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, but it roughly translates to needles that touch the heavens, a very descriptive native name. As I was saying back there, probably the easiest border crossing you folks will do anytime soon. And the reason, of course, we are in an international peace park here. In fact, the world's first. Back in 1932, Rotarians from both Montana and Alberta lobbied their respective federal governments. And their belief was nature sees no boundaries. So that is your signal to then reboard at that time.
他说搁这待多长时间？
one last quick reminder, this is a protected area. The rocks, the sticks, the flowers, everything is protected.
गर्नु चाहिँ एक गर्नुपर्ने गर्नु चाहिँ पढ्नु चाहिँ पढ्नु
走啊，走走走。
啊，你是录像。
अनि बिहान त कस्तो खत्तम भएको थियो होइन त्यस्तै हुन्छ पनि त्यो कोही बेला के हुन्छ त्यो बडीले सस्टेन गर्छ त्यो बिहानको बेला त्यस्तो भयो नि गाडीमा गएर चल्दिँदै जाने भयो नि दादा जानुभन्दा अगाडि त्यो
对，那个不是不让过，你得有证件了，你得是美国公民，或者你加拿大公民，他需要证件。
Oh, there we go. You guys have it down there.
Let's go to the picture right now.
Because it was extra teddy.
Unless the only thing I can think is the top margin of
Like the big home shoes.
like the stuff one.
Over there.
I'm sure you're going to
I like look at that thing. I like look at that thing.
I see a white dog over there.
We're supposed to be
I didn't like I didn't cut.
这可能数好数了哈，两人开船了，
是吗？
是不是？
他有多？他比来的人要多，会有那个海出来。
Went up in the heart of winter. It was covered in snow and ice. The reason they did that, of course, the rock here in the park, 90% of it's sedimentary rock. So it's very old, crumbly rock. Sometimes technical climbers refer to it as rotten rock. So if you grab a handheld, it's simply going to come right out of the mountain many times. So not very good for technical climbing. So that's why we really don't have a big climbing community here in the area. But that's also the reasons why they went up in the heart of winter. There's 5 climbers. And that's when a winter storm came down on them. They tried to seek refuge in the west bowl, western portion on that Mount Cleveland. That's when an avalanche swept down that west bowl, taking those 5 climbers' lives. So it was, like I said, a devastating hit to the climbing community here. But following a few years later, one of the gentlemen that perished along that north face, his younger brother, was actually his first successful climber to scale that north face of Mount Cleveland. And to this day, there's only been 2 successful groups that will scale that north.
有个白点儿，看那白点儿。 我给录下来了，看不着回去看吗？
啊，看着了，黑色的，像白脑袋啊，这不是点像燕子那么大。哦，good, that's good.
On each mountain aligned with this 49th parallel, there is one of those stone markers on the tops of each of those mountains. Pretty interesting.
还有个石头的那个标志。
这个线人家
来，看到了，看到了，来一下给你们看了都。
那边，它不是那什么，它不是国境线，
是国境线。
是吗？南边。
Now here to our left-hand side, you'll see that cut line extends off into the Boundary Valley. Just like that, and we're back in Canada, eh?
回加拿大了。
It's a
啊，是。
Also here to our left-hand side, you'll notice that mountain in the far distance. That is known as Mount Custer. So I'm mentioning that trail crew team. They're going to be cutting the forest here to our left, right from the boundary bay all the way, essentially to the base of Mount Custer, down that valley.
对，
So they have the work cut out for them. The very base of Mount Custer, you're going to notice that bottom is typical of the glaciers here in this area. Quite small in size. They're called receding glaciers. So they're melting away at a rapid pace. Glacier National Park estimates that within or less than 20 years, all of the glaciers in this area will be melted.
看上没这位？
And just up ahead of us, we're going to be cruising through this bay here. Notice these large cliffs. The recumbent fold, so I started to call it that. And then later that same season, another geologist came on board, corrected me once more. Told me it was an anticline followed by a syncline. So now I just call it that chevronic recumbent anticlinic fold in the rock. And it keeps me out of hot water with the geologists. But there you have it, directly on our right hand side now, that capital A-shaped fold, followed by that V-shaped fold, right at lake level. So that shows that rock can bend and buckle without breaking, with no external heat source. It's very representative of the way this entire mountain range was formed when two giant plates collided, causing an upthrust, creating these Rockies as we have them. So it's been bent and folded due to time and pressure. Pretty incredible. We've had National Geographic come here before to photograph that fold. Now another unique feature you'll notice here in this Waterton area is there are no foothills. Typically when you're to go to a mountainous area, you'd expect to find prairies, foothills, and then mountains. Here in this Waterton area, it's where the prairies meet the mountains so suddenly, so abruptly. And this stumped geologists for a number of years until they actually discovered a fault line to the southwest of this location called the Lewis Overthrust. And essentially this fault line was buried right beneath us. So it's one of the reasons why this is known as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We have very unique geology in this area. We also have some of the oldest